he's going to be signed to a big multi-million-dollar deal.
Reactions from the University of Miami about Mark Richt possibly heading to Miami.
I'm not sure that everything that we've seen get built in downtown in recent years is what everybody wants to see.
Find out next why one commissioner is asking for building design codes in downtown Athens. The annual Parade of Lights is tonight, but downtown businesses have mixed feelings about the crowds and closed streets.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
A Miami reporter speaks out about Coach Mark Richt potentially becoming the new head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. I'm Rayleigh Rozier.
And I'm Shannon Bassford. But first, sports reporter Savannah Wilson has breaking sports news. Former UGA coach Mark Richt announced just 2 hours ago he will not coach the Bulldogs in their upcoming bowl game. Savannah is at Sanford Stadium now. Savannah, who will coach that final game of the season?
Georgia Bulldogs for their bowl game. He did meet with the team earlier in the afternoon to tell them of his change of plans. This comes only a couple days after reports of him meeting with the athletic director of the University of Miami have come about. Now, the press release does state that offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer and defensive coordinator Jeremy Pruitt will stay in their current roles as each of those coordinators for the bowl game. Now, Brian McClendon will serve as the interim head coach, and this is quite the change for him as he served as the wide receivers coach for this season. Now, when you visit Sanford Stadium in 2016, you'll see quite the number of new faces, but I'll be joining you with the rest of your sports in the studio later on in the show, live at Sanford Stadium. Savannah Wilson.
Thank you, Savannah. Mark Richt won't officially be Miami's head football coach until there's been a press conference. At least that's what the Miami Athletic Association told Grady Newsource today. Mark Richt stepped down as the University of Georgia's football coach on Sunday. Reporter Damian Reynolds is live in the studio with an update on the move. Damian, what's Richt's reception been like at Miami?
I talked to one of our colleagues at UMTV from the University of Miami. He says reactions have been positive on their campus. He reminded us how passionate Miami fans are since they have 5 national championships. And he says he feels the Canes won't give Richt 15 years to win another one.
This is a fan base with very high expectations.
That's Oliver Reston, a student reporter for the University of Miami's News Vision. Mark Richt is taking his head coaching talents to South Beach. There, he'll be the next head coach at his alma mater, the U. But the fans at Miami might be more critical than Georgia fans.
He can bring us back to the glory days. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, good on paper doesn't really necessarily mean good in action. A lot of our players are good on paper, but they couldn't really perform to the standard that we held them to. So,
I mean, time and time again, we've won national championships, and these are not fans that are content with losing to Clemson.
Don't forget about Florida State. Miami is currently on a 6-game losing streak to the in-state rival. The Hurricanes have a reputation of being college football's bad boys in the late 80s and early 90s. With Richt known to do things the quote-unquote right way, Reston says he'll still be a good fit.
In fact, I think somebody like Mark Richt, who does it the right way and inspires positive values in his players, will be a welcome addition to this campus. And I think people want to bring the U back to greatness, but not necessarily the same way that it was in the 1980s and 90s.
But Richt may not have long to turn the program around.
As you might know, our fans are pretty impatient, and they don't like losing.
Neither do Georgia fans, but Miami fans are getting one of their own. The Canes last won a national title in 2001. In-state rival Florida State last won 2 years ago, and Florida won in 2006 and 08. Reston says Miami fans are looking forward to compete nationally with Richt as their coach.
Sounds like Miami fans have high expectations with one of their own leading the way. Thank you, Damian.
An Athens commissioner is asking again for changes to downtown building design codes. The issue has come up now that a Hyatt hotel is set to begin construction at the beginning of next year. Reporter Kara Murphy found out about why she believes these codes need to be changed. She joins us live downtown where construction will begin soon. Kara, where's the Hyatt being built?
The hotel is going to be built right where I am standing right now. It's going to be attached to the Classic Center. If you take a look over here beside me, you can see a vacant building. That vacant building used to be a restaurant called Square One. It's going to be demolished soon to make room for the new hotel now. Now, construction for the new hotel has been approved, but Commissioner Melissa Link says she still has problems with the design. This is where construction for the new Hyatt Hotel will soon begin. The building was approved for construction, but Commissioner Melissa Link says the design codes haven't been changed in years, and she believes it's time to look at them again.
I have personal problems with the design of the project. I feel like it is overscaled and inappropriate.
Building codes weren't the only issue with the construction and approval process. This part of the street where Hyatt is being built is public property, but most of the public didn't even know the project was happening. Link says this is a problem with government transparency.
We did, during that special called session, there was a period for public input, but the public did not know what it was going to be giving input on because the information about it had not been made available to the public.
Some Athens officials think the hotel is a positive thing for Athens. CEO of the Athens Area Chamber of Commerce says it will create growth for the downtown area.
It will help by generating more convention space than we've had in the past, which converts into more jobs and more local sales and revenues for the downtown businesses.
Link says she has talked about even halting all construction downtown. She says it would give the board a little bit of time to look over the design guidelines for downtown businesses. Reporting live from downtown for Grady News Source, I'm Kara Murphy.
Link says she hopes for more government transparency in the future and that moving forward, the design codes will be looked at more closely.
It's Christmas time in the Classic City. That's the theme of tonight's annual Downtown Athens Parade of Lights.
But large crowds and closed streets are leaving some business owners with mixed reactions. Grady News Source reporter Chelsea Bimefor spoke to local businesses about how tonight's parade will impact their sales.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Athens is celebrating tonight with its annual Parade of Lights. This event increases sales for many businesses downtown.
What I typically see is a lot of hot chocolate sales, for sure. That seems to be kind of a seasonal thing with parades.
Jason Corrigan is the manager of the Starbucks on the corner of College and Broad Street in downtown, and he says the light parade is always a big night for his store.
We see a lot of families and kids and the students. A little more increase at that time from about an hour before to probably about 10 o'clock. We see a lot more business.
Other downtown business managers say they also see increased foot traffic in their stores. But Leanne Florence, the manager of Red Dress Boutique, says that doesn't always translate into increased sales.
Definitely can bring more people in, but more times it's more people looking around than they are actually shopping. They're waiting on the parade to actually begin.
After more than 60 marching bands, motorcades, and floats line the streets of Athens tonight, the parade will end here in front of City Hall with the lighting of the great Christmas tree by none other than Santa Claus himself. But while Chris Kringle and the crowd are enjoying tonight's jolly festivities, the downtown business managers we talked to agree that they will be struggling to get home.
Streets being closed delays all of us employees downtown from being able to leave work.
The parade is set to kick off at 7 p.m. tonight, and businesses in downtown are preparing for the crowds. Chelsea Bimefor, Grady News Source.
Later in the show, Grady News Source reporter Chelsea Bimefor will be live downtown with more on tonight's parade festivities.
The Athens-Clarke County Commissioners say discrimination won't be tolerated downtown, and they're crafting a new ordinance to make sure of it. Commissioners Hamby, Gertz, and Herod are working on a proposal to punish bars who deny people based on their race or sexual orientation. We told you Tuesday that Mayor Nancy Denson has received several complaints of discrimination downtown, which commissioners decided to address at their meeting that night. Commissioner Herod suggests denying liquor license renewals to bars with repeated complaints to, quote, hit people in their pocketbooks. He says to expect the proposal before the next voting session on January 5th.
Runners will bundle up to run a 5K for a cause this weekend.
And we'll have tips for you on how to stay safe this holiday season after the break.
A local clothing line says its business has increased 10,000% after an appearance on ABC's Shark Tank. Umano is an Athens-based t-shirt company that features children's artwork. It donates a backpack full of school supplies for every purchase. The company pitched its business to the show's investors on an episode that aired in November. Two of the sharks are investing $150,000 in Umano for a 20% stake in the company. Just 2 minutes into their appearance on Shark Tank, Umano says its website jumped from 4 views to 11,000. Co-founder Alex Torrey says the increased business has not been a strain on the small company, but instead an opportunity for growth.
The team hasn't changed one iota since pre-Shark Tank, and we now do 10,000% more work without any difference in the team. And I think that just speaks volumes.
Umano and the Sharks are still finalizing their deal. Torrey says once the money is officially theirs, the company will use the money to increase production and start a men's line of t-shirts.
The holidays can be a difficult time for seniors in Athens, but one program is trying to change that. The Be a Santa to a Senior program gives gifts to older adults who might not have much under the tree otherwise. I visited the Athens Community Council on Aging to ask seniors what the program means for their holidays. Mary Thrasher says she's used to having a simple Christmas.
I grew up on a farm, and we made everything that we needed to go on a Christmas tree.
Just like she's doing now. But instead of making ornaments with her family, she now relies on her friends at the adult daycare program for Christmas cheer. Thrasher has participated in the Be a Santa to a Senior program since it began 11 years ago. Be a Santa to a Senior is a partnership between the Athens Community Council on Aging and Home Instead Senior Care that provides Christmas gifts to older adults in need.
I don't usually ask for anything much, but most of the time, if they would just give me a gift card, if it's just $5 maybe to go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or someplace like that.
Seniors in the program write down what they'd like on an ornament, which is chosen by a member of the community. The person then buys the present and drops it off to be wrapped. Recipients are chosen from programs like Meals on Wheels, Medicaid, and grandparents raising grandchildren. Danny Hedgepeth, who owns Home Instead Athens, said more than 750 people received gifts in 2014.
We're not going to let a request go unfulfilled.
The items requested on these ornaments are often things you might take for granted. Things like an electric blanket or paper towels mean the world to those who might not have a Christmas without them. Thrasher says she hopes people will remember the senior community while they Christmas shop.
Because there's so many more people that need it beside me.
If you'd like to be a Santa to a Senior, ornaments are available at a number of businesses across Athens. You'll need to be quick though, presents are due tomorrow.
Trees, decoration, and crime. They may not seem to have a lot in common, but they all increase during the holiday season. Reporter Aaron O'Brien joins us to let you know what you can do to protect your belongings this holiday season.
Thanksgiving is over, the leftovers are gone, and the lights are up. The holidays bring joy to many, but they also bring a rise in crime.
Try to encourage people to take their items home or lock them up or take precautions to keep individuals, because we know that that's going to be difficult. We have a finite number of police officers to patrol, and we do the very best we can in the neighborhoods.
Major Mark Sizemore adds that student housing complexes are a prime target for robbers during the holidays. If you want tangled lights to be your only stress this holiday season, Sizemore suggests these tips. Make sure your windows and doors are always locked. Don't place valuable items in front of windows, and never post your whereabouts or vacation plans on social media.
So if you save big on Black Friday or finally splurge for that TV you wanted, the holidays normally bring around some pretty big boxes.
Instead of leaving the boxes on the curb to let everyone know just exactly what you have, break the boxes down. Once you break down the boxes, Sizemore recommends taking them to a recycling center where you
can place them in a bin. That way, you are the only one enjoying your gifts.
One last tip. If you hit the road for the holidays, make sure you have someone to handle your mail. Nothing says empty house like stacked up mail. Aaron O'Brien, Grady Newsource.
For more tips on how to stay safe during the holiday season, visit GradyNewsSource.com.
Coming up, reporter Allison Goins has your forecast for the parade tonight.
And we'll tell you what temperatures you can expect during this first December weekend.
Shannon, I'm so excited about the Parade of Lights tonight in downtown Athens.
Allie, what type of weather can we expect during the parade?
And now, the weather.
Well, guys, the parade starts at 7 p.m., but around 6 p.m. we will already be seeing clouds. Temperature is going to be around 48 degrees and only getting cooler, so bring a jacket. Tomorrow is also the last day of winter weather preparedness week, so go to our website to read an article about how you can be better prepared this winter if we see bad weather. Now tomorrow it's going to be beautiful, sunny, no showers, highs up to 55 around 3 p.m. Now lows throughout the region, you can see here in Athens, it's not going to quite be below freezing, 34 degrees, but still cooler. And then tomorrow, highs around 57 here in Athens, 60 in Augusta, still unseasonably warm. Now for tomorrow night, a low of 34, like I said, partly cloudy, but no showers. Tomorrow, high of 57, mainly sunny, again, no showers. Winds 10 miles per hour. For your 5-day forecast, you can see that beautiful weekend that you're going to have, but that rain will come back on Monday. With your weather forecast, I'm Allison Goins.
It's about 24 hours until Friday night under the lights, and who is battling for a state championship? Coming up next.
And now, sports.
Only one more day until it's Friday night under the lights. I'm Savannah Wilson with your sports today. 2 local high school football teams are fighting for their chance to compete in the state championship. The Single A Commerce Tigers face Clinch County tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7:30. The Tigers made it to the quarterfinals last year too, but they were defeated by Irwin County. This year they have another chance, and Coach Mike Brown says the state championship is a dream, but they have to focus on tomorrow first.
Obviously that's what every high school kid dreams of, but you know, at the same time we just really haven't even thought about or brought up that at all this week because of the monumental task that we have before us with Clinch County. And so we want to keep on focused on Clinch and what we've got to do to have a chance to compete with these guys.
Prince Avenue Christian is also kicking off tomorrow night in the Single A Private Division. The Wolverines take on Eagles Landing at 7 p.m. Coach Heron told us a state championship is the ultimate goal, but that means they must win tomorrow.
You know, for us as a team, we try not to think about all that. It's just we've been all year long, you know, just play one more game, win one more game. And, you know, of course, our goal is to win a state championship, but you can't do that if you don't win the semifinal game.
Eagles Landing defeated Prince Avenue Christian in the playoffs last year, so Coach Heron said that they know a lot about each other, but that doesn't help preparing for tomorrow. And on the men's side of Georgia basketball, the Bulldogs take on Kansas State tomorrow night in Stegman Coliseum. UGA basketball is currently 2 for 2 in this week's game, following a win on Tuesday from the Bulldogs and a win last night from the Lady Dogs. Coach Mark Fox says it's going to be a tough competition, but it's hoping for another W.
I think for us, we're going to need a complete defensive effort, and we have to find a way to be efficient offensively and take care of the basketball.
You can catch the action at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. The Bulldogs' next contest is Tuesday, December 8th versus Winthrop at 7 p.m.
Reporter Chelsea Beimfor is downtown now. She'll tell you exactly what to expect from the Parade of Lights next. At the top of the show, we brought you a story about tonight's downtown Parade of Lights. We join Grady Newsource reporter Chelsea Beimfor now, who's live in downtown. Chelsea, what's going on down there?
Yeah, Rayleigh, and the parade is set to kick off here in just about 2 hours. And if you're planning on coming out here tonight, I would suggest bringing a jacket because it is a bit chilly and temperatures are only going to continue to drop. As you can see over here behind me, foot traffic in downtown is really starting to pick up. People are getting here early for dinner, to grab a hot cup of coffee. They're setting up a stage. They're just getting ready for a great evening, and some of them are already claiming their seats for where they're going to sit for this main event. And everybody I've talked to out here says the thing they're most looking forward to, of course, is the lighting of this big Christmas tree behind me by none other than Santa Claus himself. Live in downtown Athens, Chelsea Beimfor, back to you guys in studio one last time.
Thanks, Chelsea. It sounds like it's going to be a great evening downtown for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our final edition of this semester of Grady News Source. Be sure to check back in January for more.
And as always, check out our digital stories on the website, GradyNewsSource.com. For the last time from all of us here, good night!